Hey, everybody.
How's it going?
Welcome to another edition of the Cavalry Crew. It is Friday, November 8th, 2024, and it's a new dawn for a new generation in America.
Making America great again.
Woo!
Again.
Again. Yeah.
Again.
Make America great. Can you say again?
Yeah, the Empire Strikes Back.
We're making America great again.
Again.
Yeah.
You
again. Yeah, okay.
We're making America greater.
Again.
Greater than it was. Greater, better
than it was. We're so bad we can't say great. We got to say we're going to do a little better than we did before.
There you go.
True. Yeah, so this week obviously was elections. It has been a whirlwind since Tuesday night, actually into Wednesday morning, with world leaders already saying that they want front in line meetings with Trump. They've got all the wars around the world right now basically wanting to cease and desist. Yeah, and also we have governors in the United States who are basically sitting in their safe space right now. I think Newsom is. So,
Yeah,
100%. Fuck that man, baby.
100%.
I mean, if he knows how to ruin like the best state in America, he's the one. California was a beautiful state.
To go out and gloat or brag or anything like that. My only thing about it is just look at what happened in 2 days or even a day after this man has been elected. And you cannot tell me that there wasn't corruption and bullshit happening.
Right.
You cannot tell me.
Well, so we'll run over the numbers. Okay, so in 48 states, they have now turned to the right. Trump took more counties in the United States than he did in 2020. Kamala got less votes than Biden did in 2020. And 48 states have now turned to the right, if not turned completely around to the right, where it is a complete referendum on the way things have been ran over the last decade, probably, or if not before Trump took over in 2016. Because let's admit it, in 2016 through 2020, he had to battle a lot of deep state characters, and it was tough for him to get get what he wanted,
especially when you're battling the FBI.
Yeah.
Every battleground state.
Well, yeah, every swing state he won. If you even look at the California numbers by the counties and look at the map, it's only now the West Coast counties that remained blue.
What's the one? If you click on it, though, you'll see that it's 2 counties in Washington and the rest is red. That's what's fucked up.
No, it's Seattle. It's the population centers.
Yeah.
Same thing with New York. If Buffalo and New York City weren't involved, then New York would have went for Trump.
Completely red.
Yeah, but also we have a majority in the House, we have a majority in the Senate. We are 2 seats away from taking majority in the House. He already has the Supreme Court. And if the rules and the way that he wants to run this goes the way it goes for his favor, he's basically now going to be an executive of the executive branch, the executive of the executive branch, and actually run the executive branch the way it should be ran, per the Constitution. Where through the years, a lot of the administrations have just basically let the deep staters do what they want in the executive branch. But with him and Elon Musk and RFK and a few others that he wants to get in there, which he should have no problem getting approved now with the Senate, I think this is going to be a complete fundamental change in government for the better, and actually the way the Constitution is prescribed for the government to be ran.
I'm so happy for the country for how it went, and I'm happy for everybody. But here in Washington, it's like Kamala won still.
Yeah.
The way our elections have gone, it's scary. It's fucking scary.
Seattle So the night of the election, after Trump's speech at 2:30 in the morning here on the East Coast, Seattle already started the riots. Antifa was already picking battles with the cops in Seattle.
What are you talking about? Those they were peaceful. It never happened.
No, yeah, but but I saw the videos because people were already out and ready to go to see what was happening. And then just yesterday and the day before, riots and protesting in front of Trump Tower in Chicago, which obviously it's expected. There's a whole movement in the liberal left with their meltdowns of women shaving their heads because they don't want to look pretty and be considered conservatives. Well, I've got news for you. With the purple hair and the blue hair and the green hair, you didn't look pretty anyway.
Is that an insult though? Because you're saying you don't want to look like a conservative by being pretty. You're saying that conservatives look good.
Well, I have to admit, if you looked at the split screens of Howard University, which was Kamala's party, and then the Palm Beach Convention Center, which was Trump's party, I wanted to be at Trump's party because there were a lot of beautiful people in that room.
Beautiful people.
Yes.
All genders.
Beautiful people. And I'm not a bigot or a misogynist. I'm just saying that group looked like a group that I would want to hang out with and enjoy a nice, classy evening with than the group that was at Howard University where they were twerking in the streets. They were twerking on TV in front of Kamala's headquarters.
What?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, these are the same people who think Cardi B is a role model.
A nice person.
Yeah. You talk about Cardi B like that.
They were the ones that were at the Beyonce speech expecting a concert. So here's what we're going to do tonight. Really didn't want to get too much into it because if you just Google the Real Clear Politics numbers, you can see it. You can see what he took. You can see what county he took, the numbers, all that other stuff. I just kind of wanted to review and have a good night of showing some of the liberal left meltdowns, the social media meltdowns.
I don't listen. Like, I don't look. These are grown ass adults, and many of which are in positions of authority and or of some type of significance. No, I'm not saying the people in these videos, but it is happening across the board. Oh my fucking God. Like, be an adult.
You know what, though? This was a blowout victory, like historic victory.
Yeah.
So not only did he take the electoral colleges, he took the electoral college 312, but he also took the majority of the vote or the popular vote by I think it was 5 million.
Yeah, and while we're on that, we're talking about the electoral college. All these count. So even the states that Kamala won, like, sure, she may have got the electoral because of a certain county, but if you look at the states she won, 90% of it is still red. Other than you know what I mean? It's crazy. Yeah.
That's where there's that one image of all the counties in the red United States, and it says Trump has more coverage than Verizon.
Well, but our county here.
Like,
hold on,
one
aren't
acting like it.
Yeah,
like people aren't acting like it.
Do you really expect them to? And that's where I'm going to show. That's where I'm going to show the liberal left meltdowns, the social media meltdowns. It really show their character. Really show the fact that they're all children, and the party of hope and love and peace really aren't that party anymore. The Democrats have been taken over by the Antifa crowd, the LGBTQ alphabet soup crowd, and they've been taken over by the abortion crowd and the Hamas Free Palestinian crowds. So, and that's the problem. And I think that's why Trump got so many votes. He increased all of his vote totals, even in the inner cities with the minorities and down along the border, all those red counties in Texas that are on the border, even in Arizona. I mean, Maricopa County went for Trump. The largest, most populous county in the state of Arizona went for Trump. And I think that is why Democrats, moderates are starting to realize that they do not want to be associated with this crazy faction of the left.
Yeah. Yeah. My
Right.
county turned red, and they used to always be blue. It was blue for years and years, and it turned red. It was the votes for Trump were 6. This is just the early voting. They counted was like 6,000 and something compared to Kamala, which was only 4,000 and something. I mean, it's
but I think everybody knew it was going to go that way. I think it was everyone knew so much that he's winning this that when it happened, it was like we already knew.
Based off of the early returns, and then also based off of the exit polls, you could see early in the night how it was going to go, and a lot of your news media and the stations did not want to flip any of the swing states because it's all ratings for them, and that's why it went till 2:30 in the morning, because it's all ratings for them, and they want to string it along as best as they can and try to put every single analytical anecdote that they can to it. So they were doing that, and then at the same time, from what I heard, Kamala was drinking 3 bottles of wine, and that's why her campaign people came out and basically said, "Go home." I don't think they could have stood her up at a podium at that point.
She's still fucking plastered.
Yeah.
Well, and then that's probably why they waited until 6 p.m. the next night to concede in her speech, because she was probably hungover and they needed to get her presentable.
Oh, it was such a blowout that they couldn't even finagle it.
Yeah.
Some of the most liberal media hosts came out and were like congratulating Trump.
Well, that's why Trump kept saying too big to rig. He wanted every Republican possible out there to go out and vote. And I have to tell you that the lines in the rural counties across the Midwest were so long that they were beating the cities as far as time in line.
Yep.
To vote.
I was watching some of the videos and some of the just pictures they were putting up. It was, like you said, it was crazy.
And the American people sent such a referendum to DC that we are sick and tired of all your bullshit.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
I mean,
so we'll see what happens.
Whole industrial industry to vote for him.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll
I mean,
see
it
what
doesn't help
happens
when you call all of them garbage neither. So,
well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, and then when Trump's getting all the unions, you know, most of the unions, when he's getting, I mean, of course he wasn't going to get the government union that is all the federal employees, which I'm sorry, the federal employees should not be in a union, but that's my perspective.
No.
But when the Republicans are now the party of the working man, then there's been a complete shift.
Oh yeah. I mean and even the Hispanic votes. I mean they shifted so much, and it's like, you know, and it's funny because now you hear them, all the liberals going like, "Oh, they're gonna deport you. They're gonna deport you." When did he say he was deporting people? Like, yeah, the ones that crossed over here illegal and that they don't know what's going on with them or what's their background. Not like everybody else that's been going through the proper paperwork and getting everything that they need to do so they can actually become citizens.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like the same people screaming, we're gonna lose rights. We're gonna lose. What rights are you gonna fucking lose?
I can't stand these gay and abortion, these gay and these gays and the abortion people about how they're gonna lose all their rights.
I mean, Derek, you have insight on that. Why don't you tell us?
What?
Gays?
Yeah, for sure.
Gays for sure.
Well, and now that, you know, guys heard that they're supposed to have like 300 people have committed suicide supposedly in our nation.
I saw that.
And I'm like sitting there going like, okay, for starters, I doubt
that's gaslighting.
That's it was. Yeah,
that's all the media
that's
wants
the Darwin effect.
Yeah. And if so, then I blame the Democrats because they're the ones that caused all this commotion to make it seem like Trump was this bad person and everything else.
No, they built this unrealistic fantasy land that you have a lot of people really think is reachable, obtainable. And it's not.
Right. So I'm gonna show you some videos here. A lot of these videos I found on X because I find X now to be the #1 news source in the world. And I'm on it all day long. If you're out there, you want to follow me, it's at the Jason Wise. Follow me on Twitter if you want to see some pretty interesting stuff, or send me some stuff. DM me some videos so that we can put them up here on the next episodes. But let me pull up the first episode and we'll get started here. I'm basically going to start from yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw it, but Ukrainian soldiers dressed up like mannequins.
Oh yeah.
They dressed up mannequins in a Trump T-shirt and a mega hat.
Yep.
So let me pull this one up here.
There was a Japanese parade for Trump.
Yeah.
Sports, dude. What are you doing?
I was gonna say.
Jeez, man.
Oh, so now we're just gonna play them because they can't shoot for the shit.
I guess.
So what do you guys think about this? Do you think it's really Ukrainian soldiers, or is it just someone somewhere?
You can't even see his face. I doubt they're even them.
I mean, maybe it is. Maybe they finally realized they're not going to get billions of dollars funded.
Yeah, they're not going to get their free money.
True.
So now they're mad at Trump because he's like, he's going to make them pay it back.
Yeah. But some people are just warmongers. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, you're taking away our wars. All about
that's the other thing too. It's just like, not only was this a referendum for a change in DC, but it was a complete referendum on the military-industrial complex.
And that's not a very good excuse, Bob, because you wouldn't even have this war if it wasn't for us funding you.
So, Chips Ahoy, yes, that was ICE, and it was part of DHS, but that was mostly the criminals. Trump was getting rid of the criminal illegals that had large rap sheets of crimes in the country.
Yeah, a lot of them were MS-13, the gang members.
Yeah,
they were sending them back to like. Shit, I need geography. Dova, what's the country just below you?
Oh yeah, ask Dovely and
Salvador.
El Salvador. They're sending them back to El Salvador. Thank you.
Yeah, in Venezuela, all
they
that.
had a lot of problems.
That's where they have all those MS-13s and all the gangs and stuff that they're affiliated with.
Yeah. So when he was doing it, he had an executive order in place where they had to stay at the border to go through the process properly. But if they were found to be in the country and they were criminals, then yes, he was deporting them. So back to the video, the entire referendum on the military-industrial complex, do you think it has them run and their lobbyists running scared, or do you think they're going to come up with another concept of some way to get more contracts with the government if all the wars stop?
Option two. It's going to go from war funding to KBR rebuilding funding next.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with groups like that. And also, during the Trump administration, that's when they came out with some of the best technology. So maybe it's time to reinvest that money back into new technology and advancing, maybe helping SpaceX figure out how to get to Mars. Stuff like that.
Well, that was also a lot of funding into military advancements as well, updating our systems, updating a lot of things.
Right.
Defense-wise, at least.
Okay, so the next video I'm going to show you, this woman is batshit crazy. This TikToker warns women to delete.
Crazy.
So this TikToker warns women to delete their period tracker apps. And first of all, why the fuck do I need to know when your period is?
Yeah, that's where all the information's at, Les. You have no idea.
Why the fuck do these liberals want everything to be on a fucking mobile app and out there in the public?
Because you can't remember when.
I don't need to
When's the
remember.
last time you menstruated, Wise?
Really?
See, if you had a calendar app, it would help you.
But no, seriously though, like, why does everyone like Gen Z and millennials want everything to be on a mobile app?
Because they're lazy.
Yeah, I mean, people been tracking the females have been tracking their periods for like just putting it on a calendar and stuff. Because I mean, Dr. Dovalina here will be talking for a second. but like
The
keep
sexual
track
doctor is in.
so that way when they know when they're most able to have a baby and stuff, and
When
then
they're
also
ovulating.
for
I
health-wise.
understand that.
But
Yeah.
why do it on an app and why spreading it out
But
to everybody
especially
else?
when the apps is all shared data.
Yeah.
Well, everything's
basically
getting
telling
sent to a
China-
data center.
We're basically telling China when most of America is on a cycle.
Yeah.
This is
exactly.
when we're prime for babies.
Yeah.
Don't attack when they're in their period.
They might fight you back.
80% of Americans on their period right now. Stop the attack.
That's right. That's right. Well, they already proven, what was it? Registered hunters in Wisconsin by itself was like one of the largest, would be considered one of the largest militaries number wise. So if you just went like menstruating females from coast to coast, that's world domination. The seas will be red. That's for sure.
Oh man.
Oh, that's just not good.
What's that phrase from South Park? I don't trust something that bleeds for 7 days and doesn't die.
It doesn't die.
That's Mr. Garrison. He says that.
There we go. Add that to your resume, Wise. Sexist.
Now, Wise, you're making it sound like we really didn't want a woman as a president.
But no, that was South Park, not me. I just find it funny. I have a hell of a sense of humor. I just find it funny.
You know what? That's what people are
Had
still
nothing.
Go ahead,
Had
boy.
nothing to do with her being a female, Dovalina.
I
It had
know.
to do with the fact that she had more letters in her name than an IQ. So,
Well, exactly, and that's the problem. So these people were upset, saying, "White again." They're bashing white men. We can't have a woman in charge. That is absolutely not true. If somebody was like, if Candace Owens would have fucking ran, I'd have voted for her. You're damn right, I would have voted.
Hell
yeah, if you weren't dumb as fuck, we would
Right.
probably vote for you.
That's
And
like,
we might see Candace come up in 2028 for
dude, that'd be fucking dope.
JD Vance.
I'd vote for her
Hey,
because she's an actual.
start. Why don't you do the job you were supposed to do in the first place?
And that was the big
Mhm.
thing. So all these people were like coming up with more excuses, saying, "Oh, she was a woman. Oh, she was black. Oh, she whatever fucking color of the day she is or race." No, it's because she had no fucking policies. She was a fucking idiot. That's why she lost. But people are still trying to fucking gaslight it, saying it's because she was a woman. No, because she
and
was
the-
not qualified.
the morons on The View, which I have clips of them later. They were calling her an
dude.
Asian black woman.
Asian.
Oh yeah, that's true. I did hear that. Asian black.
She was
No.
she was a Blasian.
Since when did that happen?
That's what they were calling her on The View, and I'll have that clip later. But here, let's go ahead and watch this one. This TikToker say, delete all your period apps and everything else.
Delete your. Derek's trying to hack into one.
He's working hard right now.
You can't take that to the plasma center, bud.
Today. First thing you're going to do is you're going to delete your period tracking app. I don't care what state you're in. Go into your history, take out a paper plan, write down your history so that you have it, because I know that you track it. You use it to track ovulation and all of that stuff. You can't do that in an app anymore. Before you delete the app, you're going to delete your data out of the app. That's not a sure way to make sure that they can't use it against you later, but it helps. Next thing you're going to do, you're going to get Plan B or its prescription equivalent. If you are comfortable getting the prescription, you can go to your doctor, and sometimes you can get it for free. That version, I think, is called Ella. And then if you are not comfortable or unable to do that with your doctor, go get Plan B in cash at your local pharmacy. I don't care if you don't need it right now, just keep it on your shelf. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to follow creators like Jessica Valenti. She talks about abortion in her newsletter, Abortion Every Day. She is a godsend. I don't know how she does it. She is amazing. She will keep you educated on all of the things going on around abortion, not just abortion news, but news
Why does it say
related to
camping
abortion.
instead
That
of
stuff is going to
abortion?
be very important to you now.
So-
have you ever considered?
Isn't that interesting that TikTok
This
Why
bitch
is
is
it-
crazy.
changed abortion to camping?
Really?
What is the deal with that?
Is that what that means?
I don't know. Maybe that's something someone like TikTok might want to answer.
Yeah.
Maybe it's one of the
abortion for
words you're not
yourself or
supposed to
This
say.
is vital information to you. You're going to get on some form of birth control. You're going to get the pill. You're going to get the implant in your arm. You're going to get the IUD. You're going to get your tubes tied. I don't care if you're not sexually active right now, because guess what? That doesn't mean you're not going to get pregnant. And speaking of that, I'm sorry. Don't get pregnant right now. I'm sorry.
Got it.
It's
Won't.
your life. You do what you want. My advice to you for your safety is to not get pregnant right now. I am
Who-
not going to get pregnant right now. even
Who
though I
the
would
fuck
love
is
to
she
have a
to tell
family one
people
day.
this?
That
Yeah.
dream just went out the window forever.
Well, and
unless
she's
I move
right.
to
It's not
another
a good
country.
time for you
I am
to get
not having a
pregnant.
baby in the United States.
Well, I mean, me
I
and
want
Derek
you.
are expecting. What
Another
are
thing
we
you
supposed to
may
do?
disagree with, but I'm
No,
going to tell you
raise that
now,
motherfucker.
Gotta
you're
get rid
not
of
gonna
it. I'm
be
sorry.
safe. If you and your male partner voted differently,
I know
this
Dovalina's been
election,
trying
he
too.
voted for that man.
You gotta
You
stop.
need to leave him.
All the
Damn.
time.
Wait,
You
wait.
need to leave him. I'm
Look,
sorry.
look.
I'm
Hold on,
sorry.
hold
You
on,
need to
hold
leave
on.
him.
Look what she just told these people.
Voted for that man. You need to leave him. You need to leave him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You need to leave him. I know you love him. I know you love him. I know you think he's going to change. I know you think he just doesn't understand your problems. I know that you think he's more concerned about the economy. But especially if you're married to him, you are in danger right now. You are in a lot of danger. I just know that one's going to get a lot of pushback. But this is my opinion. Sure, whatever. This is my opinion. Do what you got to do. But if that resonated with you, listen to your gut. Speaking of marriage, I wouldn't get married right now. If you do,
So
Bitch, is
this
she
goes
married?
on.
Because if I was her husband, I'd be terrified. I'd be leaving.
Hell yeah.
So this goes
quicker than. Nope.
this goes on for 6 minutes, and that is crazy to listen to her say all that shit, because she goes further down the line into basically don't send your kids to public schools, private schools, and don't homeschool and all this other stuff. And it's just ridiculous what she tells these women. And who is it? Who is it? Who has the right? Now, she's an influencer, so there are all these fucking women out there listening to this shit. And it drives me insane, first off, that people actually pay attention and listen to an influencer. Why the fuck would you even listen to an influencer?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean-
speaking of that, I was listening to it was a short video, but it was a rant. And the guy was basically saying that it's not hackers, it's not any of that that's ruining the gaming community. It's content creators ruining the gaming community. And then
Right.
after listening to him talking about it, he's like, the speed runs are doing this, they're just showing you it's killing the game. It's making the game, dead within weeks instead of it lasting a few months. That's the same thing she's doing, right? Whether she's being honest or not, or being, I feel like that's for viewership. Big, drastic, tell people to make all these changes. Like, that's going to get a lot of views. It's going to get big highlights, whether you agree with it or not. People are like, this bitch is crazy, or, oh my God, I need to leave my husband. To your extent, people are going to listen to it. It's what is happening. Content creators are killing the world.
Yeah. And that's true. I mean, it could be that she's doing that just so she can get the views, and that's about it. But then at the same time, she's gonna fuck up everybody's relationship and marriage by doing that. But she probably don't give a shit anyway.
She don't give a shit,
don't
'cause
care.
as long as she's getting her paycheck from TikTok and wherever, she don't give a fuck.
Yep. Yep.
And this is what I have. This is my problem with all these influencers. Now there are some who are actually very credible, and they do research and they do third-party research and they do interview people, or they had
get it.
some type of background in it. However, 90% of these fucking people are just saying what they want you. They're saying what they believe and what you to. They, oh, shit. They're saying
what they think is going to get you to watch it.
Yes, they want you to believe what they believe, and they have no basis for their information.
Yeah.
And I get it, but like I know a lot. For instance, my niece, they're teenagers, and I know a lot of other teenage girls that have TikTok accounts, Snap accounts where they go in the Discover and watch these videos from influencers, and there's no control over the content of what they're watching. So, and I know that's pretty tough for parents to do nowadays because everybody's got a. I know everybody out there has multiple jobs now, dual income families. Things are crazy, but I don't know why it requires us to have to listen to these influencers and how we get the kids to stop listening to these influencers for advice.
It's called parody.
Well, I get that.
Yeah.
The problem is,
the problem
is you have a lot of parents out there that don't parent anymore.
Yeah, I know.
No,
I know.
Well, I mean, it's the wisest point, right? Like when YouTube was coming out, or not even just coming out, like even when it started getting popular, people were like, people were going to YouTube for advice and fucking a bunch of stuff up because you have just some guy that's giving partial information and he didn't want the video to be 3 hours long, so he skipped a bunch of steps.
Well,
and you got, you didn't take full advice unless you already knew what you were doing. You just needed to know maybe one step. And this
YouTube when we were growing up and YouTube now are totally different things.
But it hasn't really changed.
I'm still stuck on old YouTube rules where I'm only going to go there to see maybe plane crashes or learn how to do something mechanical or woodworking or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, a lot of it, like I said, I don't want to discredit some of the YouTubers out there because like Bones said, there are some really good informative YouTube channels.
And I think
there's a lot of them that it's only bullshit to get you to click on it. It's not informative.
Yeah.
It's only an opinion. It's not there's no knowledge. There's nothing to learn from it.
It's all
a toxic waste to your mind, right? But we talked about it prior with all the movie industry kind of falling, so nobody's watching movies, and then all of a sudden all these shows come out. It's all AI scripted, so no one's watching Netflix, no one's watching shows no more. Now we're on social media, and it's just following.
Yeah.
And I don't think YouTube is going down the same direction as TikTok and like Snapchat and things like that, because those are the quick 90-second videos. That's what kids. That's the only thing that kids can conceptually understand nowadays is that 90-second video. And that damn ringtone. But
no, 100%.
But YouTube now is all the kids are watching people play video games on YouTube, which I don't understand that either. I would rather use my time more productive, but
I'd rather play the game than watch someone play it.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
But I think TikTok, and if you remember, Trump tried to get TikTok banned in his first administration. So what's going to happen to TikTok now?
Yeah, maybe.
So I was hearing that supposedly what they're going to do is they're not going to ban it because freedom of speech and stuff, but what they are going to do is any government type can't be on it. Like if you were either work for the government or you
I get that.
or it's a government website type deal, then you can't. But that's
I've
been hearing.
In some states it's illegal. I forget what states, but it's illegal to have, if you're under the age of I think 18, to have certain apps on your phone. For instance, you can't access Grindr in the state of Texas. And I think
Really? I didn't know that.
Do tell.
Pornhub. You can't access Pornhub in the state of Texas.
No, there was other ones that banned it too.
Also on
banned the
college,
servers in their
so on
state.
college campuses, you can't
Utah
get
as well, I
TikTok.
think.
In the state of Texas, they banned TikTok off of college campuses. So if you're in a college campus Wi-Fi within certain distance of their Wi-Fi or any towers that are on their campus, you can't get TikTok. Which I think that should be. But I'm more for I don't want TikTok on my niece and nephew's phones.
No,
I don't
nobody
want
does.
Snapchat. To be honest, I don't want Snapchat on there either.
No.
But on a little side note, have you ever thought you were free, or you ever thought that, I'm an unreal American, the whole freedom thing? They can literally close you down in your grid.
Exactly.
They literally control what's going on in your grid.
And that's one of the things that Elon Musk is trying to get people to understand. You are no longer free
Right.
in the land of the free.
Yeah.
No, you're not. It's an imagination.
But also, does being free also include minors having access to TikTok and Snapchat?
Do we abandon guns because a couple crazy kids?
No.
I mean, there's a lot of different objects that are constitutional that we're facing right now that we were worried about if Kamala was to win.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, it's
Do we are we suing the liquor company for DUI? I mean, there's a lot of things that there's a price to freedom, right? There's always a price for it. We're always going to have something that's not going to appeal to everybody, but it's at the price of you being free.
Yeah.
Right.
And I guess if you try to put it into the government to start doing banning like that stuff for the kids and stuff like that, then that means that you're giving that parent you're making that parent lazy, because that parent should be the one telling the kid if he should be watching it or not. And that's the only part that I see about that part, like having it, banned like that, if it's the government doing it. Because I mean, I don't know, we already give the parents too much freedom,
Well, and
parent right.
They've taken away disciplining.
Yeah.
Because now you try to discipline your kids, and
CPS is knocking at your door.
CPS is knocking at your door, right? And the schools can't discipline kids.
Yeah.
It just depends, man. As long as you don't leave any proof, you're solid.
No.
You get yourself a nice bag of tangerines or
Potatoes.
I grew up
get your little bag of cuties, Come here, little shit.
So yeah, that's the one thing about influencers that I can't stand, is the fact that kids and some adults consider influencers more mentors and people that give them ideas and how to live life than actual people around them, as far as family, friends.
Yeah. But I mean, to Dovalina's point, you can ban it all you want. They banned a lot of things when we were in school, when computer labs were opening, and we knew how to break through their proxies and their firewalls and all that.
That was us being mischievous. We weren't being influenced by a drag queen in library time.
Right. But I mean, even right now, what's stopping a kid from having a VPN and just looking at it from another country? There's nothing. It's not a hidden knowledge. It's not like these kids are smarter than
if adults like you. If adults like you don't mention a VPN or explain to the child what a VPN is, then they may not know.
But that goes to Dovalina's point. It's upon the parent.
I know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So this next video I've got is a short one. This one was classified yesterday as like the single best 7-second video on the internet right now. So we'll go ahead and watch this one. It's a short one, 7 seconds. Who's got their TV on?
Owen, what are you doing
Sorry, my girlfriend's watching basketball.
Oh.
Bowen, I didn't know you were on TikTok.
I can mute my mic. But
No, it looks nothing like me.
Just, it's a white male. You all look alike.
Okay,
So
Jack
here-
Rican.
Here we go on this one.
Hey, Kamala, what are we going to say to Donald Trump in November?
Bye, bye, bye.
Hello, motherfucker.
nice.
That's cool.
Boy, you should send
All right.
Jason that video I sent you. The one from Biden.
Oh,
So here's the next one we're gonna show. This one's just a video, or no, this one's just an image. I thought this meme was pretty funny. Did you guys know Trump is 2-0 against women?
Oh,
Trump was arrested for beating 2 women.
I like that one.
I don't know. That top one doesn't really classify as even a person anymore. That's a 300-year-old evil spirit.
Okay,
Derek, we
So
need you to
this
put
is
some makeup
Dave-
on and go fight her.
this is day 3 of the
What?
view.
Oh,
I
God.
said we need you to dress up like a woman and go fight him.
deal. Sign me up.
So here's day 3 of the view. We're gonna go ahead and get this one going for you. They have an absolute meltdown. The first day was awesome because they were all in black, like at a funeral, and that's where they were. The first 30 seconds that I had watched was miserable because they were blaming Latinos of bigotry and misogyny, and then they were being racist, and then they were blaming inner city minorities, the same thing, that they're racist, and then they're racist against a Asian black woman for president. So this is day 3.
She's
Imagine
not
having every single day of your show like that. I don't understand it.
I
These
want to
women-
know how many of them left that stage and went and had fucking margaritas to drink all
Yeah.
their sorrow away.
These women are absolute bitter women.
I disagree.
Yes.
All right. I think that I'd like to reframe the conversation. I think Bernie Sanders is wrong. I think the more relevant question actually is what is wrong with America? I think what is wrong with our country that the Republican Party would choose as a candidate and support a candidate who is an insurrectionist, who is an election denier, who is someone who was twice impeached, 34-time convicted felon, someone who has been accused of
He's not a convicted felon.
women found liable for sexual abuse. What is wrong with this country that they would choose a message of divisiveness, of xenophobia, of racism, of misogyny over a message of inclusiveness, a message for the people, by the people, of the people?
It's not
That
just
is what the problem is.
Republicans.
It's
He
the
won the
Republican
popular vote.
Party.
But can
and
I,
what's wrong
can I
with
say
America?
something before we can do a second? The Democrats are the ones. They are the party that cares for the blue collar
Exactly.
voter. The Democrats are the ones who put in Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, union protection,
ACA.
unemployment insurance, and Obamacare. The Republican Party doesn't give a rat's patootie.
They also started the
Yeah, they
didn't
KKK.
convince
Come on.
the voters of-
So
yeah.
all I can deduce is that it's the messaging. It didn't get through to people. They're not paying attention. That's all.
Yeah,
Because the Democrats have always been for the working people.
Exactly. And the Republicans
As long
don't
as
care
I'm
about
missing-
it.
So, and here's something they don't understand is this was a complete paradigm shift in parties.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not understanding that.
Planet.
The
economy's gonna
message of
crash
the
under
Democrats
Trump.
sounded elitist. You don't have value in the society.
They
if you don't have a
sounded
college
that way, but when
degree.
you look at the
But
proof,
yeah,
they
but,
weren't.
but Joy,
No
it's
one was saying
condescending.
that
It's
on the Democratic
condescending.
side.
There is
That's condescending.
the way that the left speaks to its voters. It really
You mean
is.
a message of joy and inclusiveness.
No, the message of not being educated.
Joy and inclusiveness, but yet Kamala did nothing but cackle and condescend people in
drunk.
her last
And she
few
didn't include straight white men.
rallies. Right.
She excluded us. Us who
Right.
never did anything fucking wrong.
right.
Well, not you. You're not straight.
Educated being dumb and what's wrong with America. Who said that?
Sonny just did. What is wrong with
Joy,
America?
my point here is that
That's not what Kamala Harris said.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
My point is, I don't blame Joe Biden. I don't blame Kamala Harris. Go back as far as you want. I blame a messaging within the Democratic Party.
You don't blame the Republican
Party. Can I just finish my point, please? I obviously have a problem. Anyone has a problem with Donald Trump. The bigger question should be, yes, Sonny, why did they vote for him?
Yes.
In sweeping.
So they need to be introspective.
No, we need to be introspective. If we voted for Kamala Harris, we need to say what didn't resonate with the voters. Do you know what didn't resonate with the voters? When they were saying we don't feel safe and the left focused on defund the police and bail reform.
Yeah.
When they said we're worrying about. Can I just finish?
Oh my
Yeah,
God. That's enough.
Shut it down. Can I just finish? Shut what you were going to sit down. Can I finish?
Oof.
That lady was just like, boom.
Yeah. Boom. But that's how that show has been since Wednesday morning. Absolute cackling chaos. And I couldn't do it. I know people that used to watch that show that can't do it anymore. And I don't understand how how that group of women can survive every day mentally on a show like that.
I think that's it. Like we were kind of talking about the content creators too. There's no way you can argue with
I gotta head out,
this
guys.
election. Not later, brother.
Hey, Derek.
Hey, guys.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yep. Next Friday. I'll see you guys.
All right, dude.
All right. Later.
Like it was a blowout. It was a fucking blowout of a race. I mean, it was no questions, no arguing, literally not a fucking peep from anybody about this election. That's how much it just wiped it clean.
Yep.
That's not going to get you views though.
And yet,
but if you argue with over
5.5 million more votes of the popular vote, and these people are going to sit there and still call voters racist, misogynist.
That's what I mean. How many people are going to sit there and blow up about them just calling majority of America like, what's wrong with you?
Right.
Yeah.
That's going to give I guarantee you their viewership's going to be blown for at least a month or two.
I hope the show goes away.
Yeah.
I can't stand that show. And I know I don't know how people can even watch it unless they live in Los Angeles.
Viewership anyways? How are they still even around?
I know. After Barbara Walters
good.
left the show, after Barbara Walters retired from that show, I can't believe that show has even survived. Because it has been nothing since 2016 but bash Trump, bash Trump, bash Trump.
Yeah.
But that is
But again,
the view.
that's the influential people that have a decent following, decent viewership, that are completely given bullshit.
Yep.
You can't say, oh, it's all peace and rainbows on this message when you're, like she said, you're the ones who defunded police. You're the one who caused crime. You're the one who caused drug problems. You're the reason nothing ever gets fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the peace in that?
Well, it goes back to the view thing. They're like, why would all these people vote? Because again, the Democratic Party failed its own party.
Yeah.
With Kamala. Like, again, I know we're beating on a dead horse now, but like she had no plan. And when she kept getting I think the biggest thing, I think the world realized, was that Fox interview. When they did the Fox interview, when she agreed to it, I think the world finally realized, because that's really when that's really when you started seeing people say, oh, wait a second, time out.
Mm-hmm.
And that Fox interview, when they did that, they were like, she's a fucking idiot. Like, she doesn't have any policies.
Right.
And that's how
that was most of them.
Yeah.
But here's the deal also is that the Democrats can't say, I mean, I wish the Democrats would just come out and say, okay, we fucked up. Okay, we did wrong. All right. We'll figure it out for next time. But they can't.
The Democrats never do. No.
They never can blame each other for it.
No.
So what did they end up doing? That they're calling us Mexicans racist.
Mm-hmm.
That we don't want black people. That we're racist against black people.
The Democrats are hypocrites when it comes to actually placing the blame and things like that. They'll place the blame on everyone else, but never on themselves when they're the ones actually doing it. Yeah. And the problem there is the fact that they brainwash themselves, and they tell lies to the point where they believe their lies, and that is the truth. And you see it when all this election, they kept throwing out there that stupid Charlottesville. There's some fine people in this crowd. The hoax about Nazis in Charlottesville. And no matter how many times, whether it was community notes on X or the fact checkers elsewhere, and even the New York Times said it was false. Kamala or Obama said it in the last rally on like Monday for Kamala, that he was still pushing that hoax, and they were still even pushing the Russian hoax. Yeah. And that is the problem with the Democrats, is the fact that they will never admit fault. They will never make a change in their wrongdoing. They ignore it and accept it as fact and move on. And I think that's why the American public are just so fed up with it.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, we were discussing it. Go ahead, Roy. Well, we were talking about before the show started.
Politician, my bad.
No, go ahead. That's what we're talking. We were talking about the map. Of how even all these blue country counties are all red now, and it goes back to what you were just saying. Everybody's fucking fed up with it, and this has shown the U.S. and the world that hey, shit is wrong, even on an international level. Look at the French president. Look at everything else that's going on. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, we're all just products of our environment, right? So,
of course,
we're all, if you're in an area that's heavily gun banned and can't stand guns, you're probably going to swing that way. Even if you own them, you're probably going to have a minor swing of what's going on. This is just showing that majority of the politicians, because I don't want to say just Democrats, because it's not just Democrats, it's Republicans too.
It's just in general politics. I got you.
When you live in a gated community, when you got six figures, you're worth a couple million, you get to go into this shopping areas where everything's valet parking and security and cleaned. You're not the blue collar person. You're not the productive member of society. You're not that guy walking to the street. You're not the guy walking to work, riding a bike, taking the bus. You're not seeing what they're dealing with. They're not dealing with a fentanyl addict trying to attack you. You're not dealing with your daily commuter getting stolen every fucking day. There's a lot of things that they don't see, and they're not willing to see because they live in this fantasy world.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So,
and I think that's what gave JD Vance such a big lead. He spoke to the people, and same with Trump. He spoke to that people.
JD
even
Vance
before they fucked it all up.
He's like one of the most down to earth, non-political people, and he's just talking to everybody like the normal people. And I think that's the cool thing, is that he was just a corporal in the Marines. So he, for far too long, we've dealt with officers and how they all think they know what's right in politics and government. And here you got a E4 corporal who's about to start giving orders to generals.
Yep.
Well, we all know the joke
about the
West Point.
Yeah,
the West Point officers, and you hear that, and you're like, oh, they're a piece of shit, they're stupid, blah blah blah. But a stereotype doesn't happen just out of the blue, right?
No.
So
you're right.
A reason there's a stereotype, because that's happening, and we finally hit a moment in time where people are kind of noticed, like, hey, we don't want a false mannequin. We don't want this fake picture. We want someone who's going to tell us the problem, give us a solution, and execute that, to the best of their ability.
Well, that's why I don't know how Trump dealt with Pence for 4 years, because talk about the most mannequin statue guy. Mike Pence was just terrible.
Speaking of vice president, where the fuck was Waltz during the whole election? I didn't see anything about him.
He was out doing his
drunk with Kamala.
Yeah, he was out doing
his own 3 bottles of wine.
He was out doing his spirit hands at all the rallies that he went to. Yeah. So here's
talking about he was a combat veteran.
Yeah. So here's the next video I'm going to show you guys. This one was recorded from last night. It was a white dude for Kamala Harris meltdown in front of Austin City Council, and we're talking about Austin, Texas. So let me pull this one up, and this one's quite interesting because he really just goes off on Trump and everything.
Good morning, Mayor and Council. I'm speaking in support of items 5 and 27 because we need to expand.
So what do we notice wrong here right away?
Why
is
is
he
he
wearing
wearing
a
a mask?
Dude is still wearing a fucking mask.
And
What
he's
the hell?
overly eccentric right now. He's way over the top. He's got too much.
Well,
aggression.
if you look, the mask is so tight, it's like blocking his nose. So he's probably like,
Hey,
gasping
man,
for
he's a
air.
representation of a military-aged male in America.
Black voices. The voices of our African American brothers and sisters needs to be heard, especially after America chose to elect a white supremacist and educated rapist over the first African American female in United States history. And that's why it's so important now more than ever to be an ally to the Black community.
What? So first of all, do we know what items 5 and 27 are in the Austin City Council meeting last night?
I have no idea.
Let's find out.
Let me see if I can find out real quick.
Black community. I'm in a non-traditional relationship, and the lover that my wife took is an African American with.
Wait. What did he say?
Wait, what?
The lover that my wife took.
And the lover that my wife took is an African American with Puerto Rican ancestry, and I see firsthand.
How can you be an African American with Puerto Rican ancestry?
Well, there is Puerto Ricans.
I mean, of course, like
American,
they're probably married. It's probably married in.
Yeah.
But oh my god!
No. Can we go back?
Well, I think what it is
real quick.
Yeah.
He said he lost his wife.
No. He's in a non-traditional relationship, so he's in a throuple.
Yeah, so there's two dudes banging his wife.
Yes.
Him and another man are with his
African American with Puerto Rican ancestry.
He's sharing his wife with an African American man.
With Puerto Rican ancestry, yes.
Yeah.
With
So
Puerto Rican,
you got to put that in
a
there.
fucking simp.
There are black Puerto Ricans, but you don't call them African American because they're not African American. They're just black Puerto Ricans. They're just darker. You know.
I found out.
I don't know. Yeah, because they're Puerto Rican, they're not American, right?
Yeah, so I found. I can't find item 27, but item 5 on last night's meeting that they just had is authorized to negotiate and execution of agreement with the Greater Austin Black Chamber of Commerce to market Austin to a minority community, develop and implement regional economic equality and expansion of minority businesses.
How is it not like that already?
So they're shoveling a ton of money to the African American Chamber of Commerce, where the African American Chamber of Commerce gets to pick and choose how they support minority businesses. And it really pisses me off because all the rest of us out here, small business owners, are fucking fighting for our lives when we get no support from all these groups. And I'm a veteran, so I'm a veteran-owned business, so I'm considered as a minority business, but yet I get excluded from that because it's through the African American Chamber of Commerce.
So
why is it separate?
Yeah, I was like,
why isn't it just an Austin Chamber of Commerce? What do you mean?
Because during the Obama administration, everything got separated.
What do you mean? So they're paying for two Chamber of Commerce?
Yeah. So there's 2 separate chambers of commerce in Austin, and normally in the big cities it's separated like that.
Wow.
And they wonder, yeah, and they wonder where why there's race relations and issues.
Yeah. Is there a Hispanic one? Or
Wait,
let's
which
finish
one
this
video before we
which
get
one did the
into this.
Hispanics go to?
Where's the Asian one?
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Where's the
Asian
Veteran
people
Chamber of
were white.
Commerce?
I
There's
think
only
the
one
black
city in
people-
America. There's only one city in America that I know that has a Veteran Chamber of Commerce, and that's Houston.
Yeah.
Are you gonna keep playing this video?
Yeah, you guys were talking, so I
Go ahead.
The struggle that people of color go through on a daily basis, thanks to my wife's boyfriend Armando.
I
Okay,
just
there you
gotta
go.
stop. Oh my god.
Thanks to my wife's boyfriend Armando. You know Armando?
Our country was built on a legacy of white supremacy, and we need to foster a culture of diversity, equity, and inclusion here in Austin, especially since we elected a literal Nazi to be president.
Do you think all this is for show?
No, I think he's legitimately
No,
fucking-
because you're at a council meeting. Like, what? How many viewers do you really think you're gonna get?
I think he's legitimate. Just fucking insane.
It's like a worse place to go to get viewers.
Somebody just called fucking Armando to come smack him in the mouth.
I guarantee you this
Armando
guy has
needs
an
to
only.
come get his boyfriend.
I guarantee you this guy has an OnlyFans account too.
Oh my god.
And my wife, she's put me on a sex strike because she is no longer able to seek reproductive health care. And before the election, I had my very own chair right by the bedroom. And now I have to watch my wife and Armando make love from the closet. And it's so lonely in there.
This can't be real.
This
can't be real.
Yeah.
This isn't
So
real.
now we understand why he's so pissed off. It's not because of all the other stuff. It's because he.
I don't know.
his wife's not having
This
sex
could
with
be,
him.
Hold on.
this could be a frat prank by the University of Texas.
It
By
could
one
be.
of the University of Texas.
We got to
brats.
go on the comments of it to dig into
Yeah,
this.
so let me keep going here. Look at the lady in the right hand corner.
So please, for the love of science, for the love of healthcare, pass item 27 because abortion is healthcare, and I am an ally to women.
You're really going to clap at that?
God, I hope.
Oh my god.
Pass item 27 because abortion is healthcare, and I am an ally to women.
Who clapped?
You're really going to clap at that?
What did that guy say his name was again?
He doesn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know. I think it's fake because I mean he's got his face covered. It's probably because he's trying to keep a straight face. Because I don't know, but I could be wrong.
no, it's not. Because we're seeing it as like, there's no way someone would do that. But that's how they act.
That's true. That's true.
That's how they are. Everything's so dramatic. Everybody's racist.
So this was a comedian.
Oh, so it was fake?
This was fake. Yeah.
But it's realistic.
Yeah,
Right.
it is.
But that was funny as fuck.
confusing,
Dude. I don't give a shit real or fake or not.
I know
was
that
good.
is that is good.
So
Especially
this
the
guy,
You're gonna clap at this?
this guy's an entertainer. Yeah, he's a small business owner and an entertainer out of Austin, and he hosts a podcast.
So that was the real Austin council meeting, though, or
Yeah,
yeah,
committee meeting.
Yeah. right.
But this is what I was saying earlier.
Oh,
like,
he wanted
content
the
creators are
clown
killing
before.
the fucking world. So even on this, like, that's all taxpayer dollars funding that whole thing.
Right.
That was obviously not very productive to get anything done. Just so you
Right.
can get some viewerships. I
Yeah.
mean, that's like I'm saying, content creators are killing entertainment in general.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's video games, work-wise. It doesn't matter what it is. They're killing it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Jason, send that to me so that way
Okay.
I can show it to my wife. She'll laugh about it.
He's gonna play it on his radio.
So here we have someone who's struggling with the election results. So now we have Democrats who are struggling with the election results.
I'm
so
struggling with it.
Let's see who, or let's see what Jabba the Hutt has to say.
Hi guys.
Oh Jesus!
Video.
Whoa! Pause.
Been
Whoa! Where's her
What
neck?
happened to her neck?
Where's her neck?
I don't know.
It's just chin to chest.
Oh my
Maybe
God!
Maybe
This
she's
is
one
that
of the people
600-pound
that.
life.
No, maybe she's one of those people that got stuck in the Willy Wonka thing and she blew up like the blueberry.
Oh, the blueberries.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. Why? I told you.
No, we gotta be nice. We gotta be nice. No.
Okay, so
Well,
let's hear what she has
we
to
just
say
know
about the election
now he's
results.
not racist. He hates everybody equally.
Yes.
I am an equal opportunity hater and annoyer. Yes.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and see what she has to say about the election results. Maybe she ate them.
Hi guys. This video has been done a few times for me because I'm struggling myself, and I know there's others that are struggling as well as of the election results currently. Why, yes, every vote still needs to be recounted and everything else. Nothing is officially, but it is official. I just want to let you all know that
Officially,
if you
but
need
it's
to talk,
official.
I will be available to talk. If you want to talk.
First of all, listen to the background noise. How many box fans do you think she has running?
Is it box
Listen.
fans or is it air
Wearing like a
fryers?
sweater.
Air fryer.
She got
I don't know,
air
man.
fryers going right now.
So yeah, she probably hears box fan, and all she can think about is fried chicken.
Well, it's officially, but official. You know?
Yeah.
I just want to let you all know that if you need to talk, I will be available to talk. If you want to talk to other family members or anything, have a bottle of wine, an entire bottle of wine. It's okay. Having ice cream. Just talk
Oh, you know she's had ice cream.
Yeah.
Oh,
to
yeah.
someone.
She had that whole box of wine.
Get out your coping skills.
Box of wine. The box.
If you don't take a fucking breath to say a whole sentence before every word, you're taking a breath. You're not talking anybody through shit.
Like,
If
should
you want
she
to
be like wearing her
not
CPAP
talk
while
to
she's
friends
awake?
or family,
I don't know.
there is also,
Her heart
if
rate's
you
up
need,
right
the
now.
crisis number, which is 988. Everyone is struggling.
That's the number?
Wait, what's the number?
It's 988.
That was too much. She can't take that breath in to finish the number.
I know, I was gonna say 988.
We just skip it. 988. Look that shit up yourself.
Everyone is struggling, and I hope that somehow, eventually,
Pause it real quick.
we can all.
That's Peter Griffin, bitch. That's motherfucking Peter Griffin. Look at that shit. That's a fucking Griffin. If
I don't know what to say, right? But I can't really say to get better because it's not. It's gonna be hard. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. We all failed you.
I'm sorry, guys. I got out of breath right now.
Yeah, I got to get it back on the oxygen mask.
This is why it took her so many takes.
What?
That's why she said this is like it took me a couple takes to do this
Plus, I gotta eat my bucket of chicken in between.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know.
Fuck, she
What
needed.
Say
She burned a
about
couple She burned a couple calories in between each sentence. She needed to she needed to eat some food to get her energy back.
Need some salt.
You know,
or
that's
something
the. Oh.
That
You know
one
what?
was tough
You know
one.
what though? You know why people like her are worried right now? Because these are the people that would never show their fucking face in a conversation.
Oh, I guarantee she doesn't
But
have a
ever
job.
since there was this Democratic Party, equality, whatever, diversity, they were out in the open and they can tell people you can have her be a fucking fitness coach. You know, that would be acceptable.
Mhm.
Like, that's not going to be okay anymore.
Yep.
You're going to go back to being fucking in a corner sniffing people's feet. The weirdo.
So talking about health, that brings me to the next video where it's a long video, but I just wanted to show you some snippets of it. It's RFK talking about the food that in our diets in America. And
Oh, I saw this.
the dude, Donald Trump's only been elected for 2 days, but RFK Jr. is already headed towards revamping all of the medical and health agencies in the government.
Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing before you start the video?
No, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how hard is it to just let farmers grow again?
Right. For far too long, they've been
that's not
targeting
that hard.
farmers. And he's going to put the right person in charge of the agriculture department, because for far too long, they've been targeting farmers and telling them not to farm. And the fact that they've let Bill Gates buy up all the farmland, they've let China buy up all the farmland. So it'll be interesting to see how well he does.
I want to eat bugs, Wise.
I know.
I don't want to fucking eat bugs.
I don't either.
God dang it. I go to
So here, let
Double's
me,
house if I wanted bugs.
Let me show you parts of this video.
Maybe. There it goes.
Most Americans innocently put into their bodies these days, and most alarmingly, into the bodies of their children. And it's no coincidence that Americans die earlier than Canadians or Germans or Italians or Japanese or Koreans or Australians or most any other comparable country. And it wasn't always that way until the early 1990s. Our life expectancy was the same or better than other developed countries. Then suddenly, more and more Americans began suffering from chronic diseases, from obesity, cancer, diabetes, kidney disease, Alzheimer's, heart disease, and all kinds of autoimmune diseases. Our maternal mortality rate soared to the highest of any developed country on earth. Same with infant mortality. Like the frog in the slowly boiling water, we didn't really notice as we got sicker and sicker. We've grown now to accept chronic disease conditions as normal. But now in 2024, we're finally waking up to this cataclysm, and we're asking ourselves, how in the world did this happen? A big part of it is our diet. Restaurants that serve contaminated food are fined or shut down. But when it's the government that approves the poisons in our food, a few people get very, very rich, and the toxins end up in every supermarket aisle.
So I want to make a point there. He's right, because 90%.
Oh,
90. Did you know 90% of your grocery store is owned by 7 companies?
Yep. And who owns those? And those 7 companies are broken down between 2 major owners. BlackRock
And most of them, and not only do they own food, but they also own pharmaceuticals and chemical companies.
We had an episode like a year ago where we talked about how all this goes down, do you know?
Mhm.
And if you look at it then and just the change into today, like, that's not even a year's gap or of time that it took people to go, oh shit, this is real.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, everywhere I go, I see chronically obese people, and it is ridiculous how many people. If I count 10 people in a place that I'm at, I bet you 8 of them are morbidly obese.
Yeah.
And And he's got it exactly right. It wasn't until the 90s that this really started happening, because if you look at pictures, and people always do it, look at the beaches from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and look at the beaches today. 70s, 80s, and 90s, you had athletic people on all the beaches. Now it's all morbidly obese people with wives that have boobs out to here. And that's a joke. But because
you're talking about the men with boobs out to here.
Well, that too. But it's always the athletic chicks that go for the morbidly obese men because they know they got the money and they're about to croak. But
right.
I mean, just look at Chris Christie on the beach. Have you guys? I mean,
I don't want to. I really don't. The beach doesn't want that.
It's crazy when you see these images. And I was at a beach in Florida over the summer, and I noticed it. Like, oh my god! And that's the first beach I had been to in probably 30 years. And it's just crazy what you see nowadays compared to pictures of looking through my old family photo albums on vacations and stuff like that. Like, it's crazy to see these fat people. And take a look at some videos. Take a look stock videos from Disney World right now. Go watch some of their commercials, and who's in them? Morbidly obese people.
Yeah.
Of course, the people who can't fit on the ride want to ride the ride.
Exactly. So let's see.
The whole airplane situation again. I have to pay $80 for a 40-pound bag, but they get to have 2 seats for one.
Yeah. And I think a year ago or so, I read a meme or it was a video I watched. And the guy said, if you can't pronounce the first 6 ingredients, put it back on the shelf. And when you compare the food labels in America to the food labels of Europe or Germany or across the world, they have all natural ingredients as the first 6 ingredients. And that's about it.
Yeah.
Well, just look at the color differentiation.
Yeah.
Even just here in Mexico, the food over here they don't have all that chemicals and stuff over here. And that's one of the reasons why also my wife wanted to come over here, because she has thyroid problems. She has all these different problems that when she would eat over there, she would have to go straight to the bathroom or upset her stomach or anything like that. But when she would eat food here, it never bothered her. It didn't upset stomach.
Do you think this was a collusion in the 90s between the Clinton administration, the food makers, and the pharmaceutical companies to
absolutely
get the next generation of people so dependent on junk food that they are now dependent on medications and prescription drugs?
Oh, I guarantee it.
Well, I don't want to get away from this video too much, but like to your point, the 7 companies that own everything in everywhere, those are the same people who are now have hands and stock and say in pharmaceutical and the medical field. So it's a big circle that loops itself between the small group of people, and they don't care how many people die.
Well, look at
profiting from every step of it.
Look at the food pyramid. The food pyramid, which we all know now is a lie. They're like, you have to eat all this stuff every day, which is not true. And it was a marketing thing for them to sell, for big industry to sell more food and bolster, their bonuses and bullshit like that.
Well,
I mean, they're teaching now that it's better to give your kid a dessert. If they're not going to eat dinner, it's better to just give them a cookie. Let them eat a cookie. Like, no. When the fuck is that okay? It's not okay. I'd rather you're just going to starve, bud. I'm sorry.
Right.
You're going to get hungry enough to eat, But this is why across America, there's constipation issues. There's all sorts of health issues with their kids because they can't physically take in the chemicals we're feeding them.
Right.
Because we're not giving you food. We're giving you this man-made fucking bullshit.
Right.
With hormones
that is
and
banned in every other fucking country.
Right. So I just want to continue a little bit more here, and he's going to do the ingredients check on some of these.
In every supermarket aisle. Let me show you what I mean. Doritos, Cheez-Its, Captain Crunch, gummy bears. Everyone knows that these are junk foods, so maybe you wouldn't be too surprised to see that the ingredients include a lot of poisons, including a harmful yellow dye called tetrazine, or yellow dye number 5. What you may not know is that this dye was originally made out of the sludge that's left over when you turn coal into coke for blast furnaces. It's called coal tar, and I've actually sued many big industries for legacy contamination of coal tar all around the country because it's so toxic and it's so harmful to the environment and human beings. A century ago, it was just an obnoxious industrial byproduct that everybody was trying to figure out ways to get rid of. One of the ways that they did that was by paving roads. But then a British chemist figured out that the coal tar could be used to derive fabric dye. And if fabric dye, why not food? Food manufacturers began using it to cover up the discoloration of low-quality foods that they wanted to pass off on unsuspecting customers. They didn't know.
So, you know, the whole yellow dye number 5 urban myth, and it's from drinking too much Mountain Dew, it makes you sterile. And I've known that since the 80s or the late 80s, early 90s, when I was a kid drinking Mountain Dew. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's got yellow dye number 5 in it. You're never gonna have kids." So he's not wrong. And the thing I love about his stuff is the fact that, I mean, he has been dealing with this for years. He's well educated on this subject, and I think this is going to be a great choice for the food and health agencies in the federal government.
Yep.
Well, I mean, if you didn't know, and if you don't realize it by now, that is the number one supply to to any country is food. If you don't have food, you're gonna have civil unrest, you're gonna have crime, because they're just gonna take it from people who have it. If you don't have food to distribute to people, they're gonna ravish the environment to get it. The food is number one. It's more important than the fucking money, than anything else, right? Food and water. And we allowed a company to have a brand on it. We've allowed a person to stake a claim on food and water. That's what's fucking wrong. Yeah. You can't even collect rainwater. Fuck.
No.
Well, right.
No, since late snow.
You know? So.
All right. So
hopefully all this stuff that we've been bitching about for the last couple of years, you know, and things that have been hurting us, hopefully that all turns over now.
I just want to wrap up a few things here because one person posted an entire thread of 8 liberal meltdowns, and I don't know if we want to watch all of them, but
all right. Why not? They're all good.
A lot of screaming.
Oh yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't get the
So
screaming.
we'll start the first one, and what I might do is just we'll watch all 8 or something and maybe comment.
Is that an elf on the shelf?
I bet you his parents are going to be really pissed.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I'm like, I bet you his parents are going to open that door and like, what the fuck are you doing?
I'm sorry. No.
I saw this one.
No. Why?
And look, she's wearing scrubs. Would you trust this woman in a dentist's office or a doctor's office?
Hell
no. Well, the medical industry is 90% liberal as fuck.
Why? Do you really hate me that bad? I'm sorry.
Wow. Just spit all over the camera.
Not okay. This is not okay.
This is the they them.
Is it?
This simply will not do, and this is not okay, and I'm not good with this. This is sick. Not okay. This is not okay. This simply will not do, and this is not okay, and I'm not.
Tell me how you really feel about it.
This is sick. not
Oh my god.
See, these all look like clickbait.
So glad you guys got your cheap ass groceries and your cheap ass fucking gas because you're fucking broke as shit. You're fucking broke. You're fucking broke. Broke. I said I'm fucking so glad you guys.
I'm sure she's broke too.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't look like she's doing too
If you've
good.
lost faith in humanity, clap your hands. If you've lost faith in humanity, and this is your villain origin story, if you've lost faith in humanity, clap your hands.
That was pretty good.
That was a good one.
Here.
You know who that guy was?
No.
Sex with
The
okay.
Yeah, you probably don't want to know. He cheated on his wife. He was a big thing on another one.
Yeah, I know
Cheated
who
on
he
his
is.
wife, so they're not together anymore.
And I am very, very afraid that he might deport my mother-in-law. She
Oh, I see
entered
this.
illegally to the country, and she lives in a street 4, number 47. I am very, very concerned. That's right behind the green apartment. I have nothing bad happened to her. The gate is always open. They don't
gate is always open.
They don't have a dog either.
Number 47 apartment B.
That's a fucking good one.
Yep.
If you get the border, how my life would be. Why? It's number 47.
Hold on. I get it's a joke and it's funny, but where did this whole thing stem that Trump was like sending everybody back?
Dude, I don't know. Well, he wants to have
I
mass
don't even remember him
deportation.
saying like he's going after illegal. I just heard him talking about illegal
Well-
criminals he was getting rid of.
So it was brought up that they're supposedly that Trump is going to be taking back all illegals and legal people that if you're not from the United States, you're going to get kicked back to Mexico or wherever you're coming from. It doesn't matter if you're legal or not, or even legally staying here. So basically what it's saying is like, I would get kicked out.
So if you're on a visa, you're out of here.
Yeah. Like if
It'll
you're on a
basically
work
be a-
visa or anything, you're supposed to get kicked out.
It'll be a massive review of like all visas. And if they're part of the 21 million that have entered in the last 4 years, yeah, they're gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if you're working
can't
and you're
afford
doing
it.
right and you're not a criminal, you don't have any criminal background, you're going to be fine. There's no problem
Mhm.
with that. But what they're trying to do, what he wants to do is take back all those that crossed that never
Mhm.
got checked right, never got entered in. It was basically going into the border illegally, you
Mhm.
know. All those are the ones he's talking about. But of course, the
Yeah.
Democrats have to turn it all around.
Well, yeah, the Democrats want to. It's all gaslighting. They want to frighten everyone, and that's how they do it. That's what the Democrats are good at.
Yep.
They never thought they were going to let all these people in and they'd all vote against them.
Well, I think that's what they thought. They thought that, hey, we're going to get
You're an
numbers out
illegal
of this.
immigrant. They just gave you a ballot, and you're like, "These motherfuckers let me in here? Absolutely not!
Yeah.
I'm not voting for your dumbass."
Yeah. Who am I going to vote for, right?
Well,
I am not voting. You let me in here, you're dumb as fuck.
Well, here's the other thing is, and bring it out of the subject, but it's kind of the same subject is now they're supposedly now stopping the vouchers in New York for all the
Yeah.
illegals.
Oh, I did read that.
And Biden just signed a thing saying that he's going to prosecute anybody that comes through the border, and they're going to get sent back automatically. They're not.
That's what I'm saying.
accepting
But why now? Since it was peak election season. Not now that
because
it's
now
over.
the election's over.
Now the election's
Yeah,
over.
the election's over. They wanted to bring in, and it's something I had always talked to my wife, and my wife kept on saying, "No, they can't do that. They can't do that." They brought all them in. We're gonna make them citizens so they can go vote, and they thought, well, they're gonna vote for us because we made them citizens.
And they get here and they
Bottom of the
looked
line.
at. They're like, we're stuffed in hotels. We're treated like second class citizens. We're getting bussed around everywhere. We were better off staying where we were, and essentially, to a point. Not everyone, but majority of them were probably still had a family home somewhere.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, fuck it. Nope, we're not doing this for fucking round 2 again. Fuck that. Nope.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's gonna see a very interesting. It's gonna be a very interesting 4 years. I can't wait until day one. I am probably gonna have like the best day ever.
Dude, I can't wait to see the list of executive orders on day one.
Yeah. Right.
Oh yeah.
Cannot wait. Cannot fucking wait.
I'm just gonna be sitting here going, "Welcome to the Red Kingdom."
Did you see Waltz's wife today? Basically, blast a whole bunch of supporters and tell them that they're worthless.
Really?
Yeah. So this is Waltz's wife talking like we're a bunch of children who didn't vote him in.
She always talked like that to people.
I'm not sure if you heard me. We cannot and we will not give up this fight.
Look at that forehead, dude.
Come on.
She's reptilian for sure.
That's right. We cannot and we will not give up this fight. That's right. All right, you can sit down now. I'm not sure if you.
Oh my God. Okay, so I'm sorry, Bet, and I probably offend a lot of mentally handicapped because she looks worse than that when she's doing that right there, clapping her hands up in the air.
Don't make fun of me.
You know, I'm like, oh my God. And then it's like with the whole thing when she was turn the page over. I'm like, are you serious? You're trying to show like if we're little kids, like we're like babies.
How's that go again? What do you do?
Turn the page over.
Dublin, you just offended Bowen and his whole group of people, you know, the handicapped.
God damn
it. So here's a funny one that came out this afternoon. Everybody wonders, you know, how Trump writes his posts on True Social and X.
Oh yeah, because they're always savage as fuck.
They're always so funny. And then here's one from when the Democratic convention. So let's watch this one. He's actually sitting there watching her on his whole team is watching the convention.
Oh my God. Is she crazy?
Thank you
Wow.
all. Thank you so very much.
She's crazy.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Oh, too many. Thank you.
It's about 20.
There must be 35.
Traveling from India
That's
to
good.
California with an unshakable dream to be the scientist.
How many people are watching?
Can we tell how many, Dan? How many people are watching?
She's talking about how great San Francisco was before she destroyed it. A lot of talk about childhood. We got to get to the border.
So it's
Inflation,
hilarious that
crime.
he's so engaged in his
Cindy's
post.
the things of which she complains. The things of which she
In many ways, Donald Trump is an unserious man.
Oh, you hear that thing? It's great, right? Ready? These prosecutions were all started by her and Biden against their political opponents. Me. Get that out right away. She paid and raised.
Get that out right away.
She paid bail to get the violent
Dude, he is savage as fuck.
Out of jail.
Bro, he's just rattling
Put it
this
in there.
shit,
Put it
man.
right in with the stuff. Huh? With that post, yeah.
I don't give a fuck what people say.
You could do it
They're
either
talking
that or
about his
something.
mental capacity. Dude, he is shooting these fucking answers off like that.
Lying against Project 25, which she knows, and so do all Democrats, that I have absolutely nothing to do with.
She says we all know that Trump term.
It's great.
So were each one of those people a different social media platform?
No, they're all tied into his.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they were probably all pushing
So when
that
he posts,
to-
they post on all of them.
Yeah. So he probably has someone running just all of them. And what they're all doing is pushing it to that person that is running all of his social media. Because
Man,
just
that
like,
finger
I mean,
tips
I
are
can
burning.
go on a platform and tie all my social media into one. And as soon as I write on one, it blasts out to all of them. The same thing.
Every one of those people have carpal tunnel.
No, it's so funny. I mean, the dude is hilarious. The fact that he just does this, doesn't give a shit, and his sense of humor. It might be dry, but it's hilarious when it hits right to the point.
Well, I mean, it shows that, I mean, there's a lot more to running a business than just having money invested in something and letting a bunch of people run it for you, right? You got to understand the market. You got to understand the economy. You have to understand how to sell something when people don't have money, or how to be better than everybody else when people do have money. You know, that's something he applies to everything. And just because it's, you know, updated social media, we play on phones now and not in real life, he just applies it to everything he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just sticks to the basics.
He knows what he's doing, I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
All right, boys. Well, that is our show for Friday, November 8th, 2023 or 2024. Man, where am I?
What are you doing?
Wherever.
He's still mad he can't get Grinder in Houston.
I'm glad that my laptop made it through the show.
Yes. Yes.
We had a nightmare before the show. I actually dropped my laptop, so it was able to make it through the show. Other than that, you guys, love you guys. We are out for we're actually up for a great end of the year into early next year. I'm excited. There's finally something to look forward to in life after the last 4 years.
I've already heard talks of pipelines opening up.
I
Yeah,
might move back to the United States.
I'm already hearing like gas pump prices starting to drop.
I can't wait for day one because I think we should turn his executive orders into a drinking game. Whenever he overturns a Biden executive order, you drink.
Oh, we'll probably be very drunk. Very, very drunk.
It'll be interesting to see the least, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to get my hopes so high because there's a lot of
I'm
work
excited.
to be done.
The fact that the stock market reached monumental gains on Wednesday, and already manufacturers. I heard today Steve Madden is already cutting his Chinese manufacturing in half, and considering reconfiguring his supply chain and everything else. So it's very interesting to see who might follow along with him or with that company.
Good. Yeah, a lot of people already just even knowing that Trump's coming in are changing everything, which is good though. Which is good.
And Hoy, if you didn't know, they make purses and shoes. So.
Oh no, I know who they are.
Okay.
Yeah, Misty drags me around the mall every now and then.
Okay. All right, boys. Well, hey, it was a great week. Good seeing you tonight. Great show. Don't forget, if you're out there, if you're listening, comment on our stuff. Follow us on social media at the Cavalry Crew. I'm on Twitter at the Jason Wise, and follow us on Rumble. Follow us on YouTube, and you can catch us every Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, live on Rumble and YouTube. Thanks again. We're the crew here at the Cavalry Crew, and we will see you again next week.